Mr. Jamil, I'm ready for my close up. Mr. Jamil, I'm ready for my close up. Hey everybody, this is Faye Renee. Welcome back to Reviews with Faye Renee. Today I have a crazy movie to review. Pearl. Pearl. For a minute there, I thought I was somebody else. Let's do it. Let's get into this Pearl. Let's go. In a word, Pearl is straight up wackadoodle. Blew my mind. Only a few films blow your mind. Pearl was one of them, a true mind blower. At first, I was going to do a 2-minute live, but this movie needed a full on review because it's just so fucking out there. And I had to talk about it in a full review form, okay? Pearl is surprisingly a really good slasher horror film, if you can say that, there can be one. And yes, it is. First off, the look of Pearl was so nostalgic. I likened it to many film eras. It takes place in 1918 down on a Texas farm where this young woman, Pearl, lives a very lonely and dull, mundane life on her family's Texas farm with an overbearing, evil mother of German descent. They're immigrants. And the father is confined to a wheelchair with paralysis. So Pearl has a lot of work to do on the farm, and she's just so fucking bored, it's ridiculous. She's especially lonely since her husband, Howard, is overseas serving in World War I. So every day, all day long, Pearl thinks about and dreams about one day leaving for that Hollywood life. She wants to travel to Hollywood and become a big time fancy chorus girl dancer. Pearl is practicing every day out of the sight of her crazy mother because she's getting ready to audition at a local church. They need someone to travel with their dancing troupe. So one night, Pearl sneaks out to go down to the local church so she can audition for this dance troupe. But baby, it does not go so well for her. And that's when Pearl, the real Pearl, just freaks the hell out. I mean, epic level freak out. And it's permanent. So during the film, I found myself mostly thinking about the Wizard of Oz, of all things, because Pearl would ride her bike into town, just like the Wicked Witch of Oz. And she reminded me of the witch always throughout the film and of this other chick, Minnie Pearl. Y'all remember Minnie Pearl? That famous old country comic from the old series, Hee Haw, with a big old toothless and grin. She was just a pretty little country girl with low self-esteem. This Pearl was a motherfucker. I'm sorry. I ain't never seen nothing like this movie. This movie shocked the hell out of me. And then some. It had references to various horror films, which was great, such as Alligator. Yeah, Pearl had a pet alligator. Texas Chainsaw was all up in there, too. And I saw grandiose shots familiar to Carrie. Y'all remember Crazy Carrie, and a whole lot more. So I went home with my mind completely blown. And I thought about this Pearl. So I did a little bit digging, and Jesus, I come to find out, thank God I saw Pearl first because I didn't know this. I found out when I got home that, I'm sorry, I didn't know. Pearl is actually a prequel to the movie X. It was one of 2022's greatest slasher films, but see, I ain't in them films, so I'm sorry I didn't see it. But both Pearl and X were written, directed, and produced by Ty West. And it stars Miss Mia Goth as the older Pearl and the younger Pearl, and Maxine Meeks in the X film. Now, these smart ass masters of the universe producers, they shot Pearl and the X movie back to back. Really smart. So now, in the modern day film X, I'll tell you a little bit about that. We find our beloved Miss Pearl quite old, and she's an elderly married woman, still on that damn farm and still with her husband Howard, who's portrayed by Stephen Ure. And one day they agreed to rent out their property to a film crew in town and wants to use this little Texas farm to shoot a porno film. That didn't work out so well. And let's just say that's a whole nother movie review, this X. And from all the looks of it, a pretty damn good slasher film it is. I have to check it out this weekend. Now, I remember this film coming out around March of 2022, and it was one of the films that I missed completely. Oops, Shanana. Final thoughts? Please, please, please go and see Pearl just for the sheer fun of it. It is a crazy ass movie, like I told you. It is a slasher movie. You'll have to deal with that, but it's so much more than that. It's a lot of fun, and it's got that great Hitchcockian feel to it with the camera shots, like the birds. I mean, even though it's shot down on a nice little Texas farm, but really they're in New Zealand, it's got everything going for it. Pearl is exciting and fun to watch, and the time goes by really fast. It was a surprise film of the year. You must check out Pearl. Oscar has to seriously rethink some of their categories. They need one for good horror. Because to me, a good horror film I liken to a good comedy or a good comedic crime story, so to speak. It has to have thrills, chills, and a jump scare factor and a wow factor. Pearl had all of that. No doubt I give Pearl a 4.5 stars out of 5 for a horror film. I really enjoyed it. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Hit the red subscribe button below once, check the little bell once, and you won't miss the next exciting, super cray-cray, unconventional film review by Reviews with Faye Renee. And hey, this fall we got a lot of exciting things coming up. We got some great movie reviews that we have to do. You know, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever is coming out, and a whole lot of great Halloween movies are coming out too. The last of the Michael Myers movies supposed to be out this year. I hope that's the end of him. You guys, I'll be back next week with a brand new review. Until then, check our social below. You'll find us right here on YouTube, on IG, on Facebook, on Twitter, and always find out really good stuff about us on our website, www.reviewswithfayerenee.com. And don't forget, we are streaming as well. Yeah, we're on a brand new INFINITV network app for Roku, but now you can download it with Google, Android, and iPhones. And just check the listings and find out when Reviews with Faye Renee is playing. That's INFINITV network app. The app is called My Infini. Information below. So you guys know what time it is. That's it. That's all. Holla.